So this video is going to be December's energy, sort of predictions around the energies actually. I'm going to do a separate one on predictions because some of the predictions that I've made also, September's a lot did come through, but some that I've just said in random of the channeling videos have come through, and also on my Patreon for October, November have as well. So I'm going to try and do that on YouTube as well. But I thought let's dive into the energy update for December. I didn't do November's, didn't get a chance to. But November's theme last month when I did it for members was all about let the truth out. So it was a bit of a different vibe to what we're going to have in December. December is like, is this real? Because we're going through a few energies in December. And I think Christmas and festives and holidays can always have heightened emotions regardless if you celebrate or you don't celebrate, especially if you're in a country that the majority do celebrate Christmas, because then there's also the festives and the feel outside and in the shops, etc. So last month in November was very much let the truth out, and then December it's like, is this real? And the need to stay present. So if we take the first week, which we're already in, but we're looking until about the 7th here, and obviously you might feel this energy a bit fluctuating for you at different times, but the first week can feel like a bit of a whole lifetime in 1 week, and people might wish to manipulate things or situations, and it's not necessarily that they are manipulative in a negative way. It just seems to be an energy where they can't seem to say what they want, they can't express it, and so it's kind of like going round the corners of like, what can I do to get what I want, even if it's like little white lies. So look out for that energy. And also when I say look out for that energy, it's about us looking out for, are we able to also express ourselves? Are we also trying to manipulate stuff because we're kind of finding it difficult to express or say what we want? So it's a two-way thing. And I think there's the energy of the 9 as well, and the 9th of December I'd say is going to help you keep boundaries in place, and be present and check in on energy. So the 9th energy and the 9th of December might help you reevaluate that. It kind of then, it moves from serious into more harmonious energy as we're going through December. I will say the first week is extremely challenging on the heart chakra, and we do see that also throughout December, and I'll get to that, but definitely until the 7th you've got a challenging around the heart chakra. And then as we get to the 7th and 8th, that's how we're moving into more harmonious energy. And I would say that it's probably a good 2 days to be very much heart-centered, try to be positive about what you want in your life. Because by the 3rd week, you might see those answers and things coming in, and you need to be open to receive. And you can do that by being positive and heart-centered. And being positive at the beginning while you're asking, or while you're trying to look into what you really want. Maybe you already know what you want and you're trying to manifest it, but it's kind of like being in a heart-centered positive approach around the 7th and 8th. So by the 3rd week, we can be open to receive if the universe is ready to deliver any of that. And some of it's probably stuff that we've been really wanting for a very long time, so it's not going to be some of us might suddenly just come up with something new, but we need to be realistic about, I don't want to say it's going to come to fruition by the 3rd week of December if it's something that, you know, you just randomly thought of. but it is, the energy helps us basically, as long as we're centered in our heart and presence, to receive. So the third week, the answers, it could also be you're asking questions, the answers, direction, the receiving is coming in that you've maybe worked around on the 7th, 8th, and maybe 9th as well. So that second week where we're looking around the 8th and 9th into the 12th and 13th is really about trying to enjoy, trying to feel abundant, and trying to have that abundance feeling. That's the energy that's available to us. As well as the same question we got in the first week popping up in that second week of 8th to 12th, 8th to the 12th, 13th. Is this real? Like, you know, because the way people are dealing, maybe because you're actually receiving the answers right now. But like I said, going back to the energies, the way people are doing stuff. Now, within that second week, as we're going into the third week, on the 12th of December, we've got that Sagittarius, a new moon. It should be a good energy, but I think it's going to be quite fully charged. Now, I don't know if any of you do get affected by the moon cycles. If you do, let me know in the comments, because I tend to, and I find one of them more challenging than the other. Like, I find either the full moon or the new moon more challenging than the other one. And I'm happy to share that. I just want to see what everyone else puts in the comments. And maybe you don't really feel a difference in the moon cycles. Maybe you do. Maybe you realize. I used to know when, still do, when I'm having a troubled day sometimes, and the moon would be moving through a certain zodiac sign, even if it wasn't a new or full moon. But this is also like, I see what's happening. It's a fully charged energy, but I see what's happening. And people are also looking and seeing, and there's a bit of jealousy of what you might want or we want and what others might want. So there's a theme of jealousy that we need to just pay attention to, not to be paranoid of. And you might not even feel this, it might just come up. Now, Sagittarius new moons are generally good energy. It's obviously going to affect some signs more than others, especially if you've got mutable in your chart. And Sag and Gemini will definitely be affected. There's, you know, in December in general, the astrology is not very potent like other months, like October's are usually. We do have a retrograde, I'm going to get to that. But for this sort of second week, the Sag new moon, I would say go for, if you've got opal or if you've got a evil eye, I'd have that around you, because both are kind of going to be a good deflecting energy. And opal can be any color, by the way, it's not just a white color. Made a note here, I'm not sure what point I'm trying to say, but I think there's something about healing energy during the new moon as well. You could also have like turquoise crystal or gemstone is good to deflect. So there is a bit of a healing there. Now with this second energy I mentioned, we've got the first potent energy in December, the new moon. The second energy is the second potent energy is the Mercury retrograde, which will be from the 13th of December to the 1st of Jan. It's not very long. We're already in the pre-shadow phase. So some of you might be like, okay, my phone's acting funny, the laptop, this or that, whatever. You might have already started experiencing. And this retrograde is not a very, very heavy one. And like I said, it's not the most powerful and it's not long, which is a great thing to know. The retrogrades can vary, and sometimes we can get caught up in them. And obviously, depending on where your rising sign is, you're gonna and what house, those themes might be significant for you. Of course, what I would just say in general is always have time on your side. If you're traveling, if you're going for something, just no rushing. Read through contracts, read through stuff, and just, yeah, have time on your side. Take time out to really pay attention to stuff. What this Mercury retrograde might do, so we're looking at the 13th, we have the 12th, the new moon, and then and we're still in that new moon energy. It takes about 10 days. And then Mercury retrograde, which means you may get a glimpse of the past. And you can get a deeper insight on how you want to move forward when that glimpse of the past comes in, or you nostalgically start looking at the past, which is a good thing as long as we we're not focusing on hurt. Again, energy that might need healing is going to be maybe potent during that time. So during this sort of energies, I'd say the solar plexus is going to be the connection. But with the solar plexus, it's not about I or my identity like traditionally. I want us to think about connecting to I on the spiritual level. Okay, so that we're still connecting with the heart as well and trying to be centered and navigate some of the energies. So like more of the presence of feeling into your solar solar plexus. So yellow is going to be important as well for some of us, or a yellow frequency. And this month has a lot of I focus. I need to focus, I focus. What we can do because of the spiritual element and then the heart and the healing and trying to be grounded, I'd say amethyst is probably good. There's no need to get all fancy. So it's kind of like, the amethyst I see, but we're doing it on a spiritual level as opposed to the solar plexus of I see or I am on the physical identity level. And also that way with the frequencies, with the solar plexus, with the amethyst, we are also driving a cooling agent there between all those things. Now the third week we'll be talking about the 13th, 14th, going into the 22nd, 23rd. And this is, remember what I mentioned around the 7th, 8th and 9th. This is that third week where we may feel ready, really supported, uplifted, receiving what we've been wanting to receive, or communication or insights. And around the 21st, 22nd, we might feel a bit icky, okay? It's a bit similar to the first week, where, oh my God, have they really done that? Is that real? There's that kind of energy. And then the 22nd, 23rd, I'd also say the 24th, but it's coming on to Christmas Eve, but it's a good days for communication, which is good to hear because there's that stressful time, last minute, and we really do want a good, harmonious or good energies for communication, especially around Christmas. I'd say Christmas Eve until Boxing Day especially, so that we don't, a lot of during these festive holidays, there's that tension that sometimes can cause arguments or expectations, and we're just not in a free-flowing state. And so when communication is supported, it's great because that can alleviate that, and we know how to communicate better as opposed to like the first week or the beginning of that third week where it is a bit icky. Which is good. Around the 22nd, I'd say it's the most potent, like deeper. You can talk around 22nd. You can talk deep without being, and dive into emotions, but you won't be getting caught up in your emotions or too emotional, and you get that point across, and then people are not affected and you're not affected. I think that's really, really good when we're able to connect to our emotions, connect to our heart, and deliver a message so nicely where it's felt, but we're not overtaken by emotions or sadness or over emotional. And that is great on around the 22nd, 23rd as well. Now the 25th, Christmas, and bit quiet, no sort of potent energies. But the 26th, the full moon is coming in now. And this is big energy. There's going to be a revved up energy with this full moon. And it's going to be, some of us might feel it like really speedy, a revved up kind of full moon. And obviously before the 26th, we start feeling the energies. So the 25th, if you're kind of sensitive to cycles of the moon, I mean, just watch how you feel in terms of that. But before it gets to the full moon, it's more in a grounded, earthy state. So we're not in like deep emotional water signs, which is good. Okay, to try and avoid any heightened sensitivities. But it's definitely kind of a go revved up energy. And the 20th, and I'll probably do a bit more on this on the new or full moon. If you're interested, I can do a deeper dive in that. So looking at the 25th and 26th, 20th to 26th, I would say again heart, but the high heart. The high heart chakra, or the high heart energy, is between your throat and your actual heart. And you might have heard of it. If you haven't, it's called the high heart. And this is about really being, again, spiritually aware, staying present, and being in the emotional body as well. So again, you can carry the amethyst. I would also go for like a rose quartz, okay, because that is calming. It's a heart chakra energy. High heart is very similar, and it's great. And during this time as well, we're going to find that relationships, we're in that Mercury retrograde. You might want to chat about your relationships, especially your intimate, but they can be about your friendships and your relationships. And it's kind of like, what are we doing? Where are we going? It's really delving into those. And it just kind of, with the Mercury retrograde, it makes us actually revisit stuff, and that's potent on the 26th as well. And you're going to find that maybe around the 26th, 27th, 28th, you might find that around this full moon, you might find that you need a self-care day, and go for it. Just do it and disconnect. That is going to be a good thing if you feel it anytime, and that's from the 2nd. I'd even put from the 2nd, because sometimes we just need it and you need to take it until the end. Take that day, disconnect, take that self-care day. The full moon is really amplifying, and you may be feeling emotional hangover post the peak of the full moon. And also there's that Christmas and the celebrations, and the general energy is very heightened, like I said. There might be that mean energy a little bit that I was talking about in the first week, popping up here, sprouts here and there. And so relax and have patience, especially around the 29th, okay? But then when we get to the 30th, 31st and 1st of January, again, nice energy expected, back into a bit more harmonious. And it's kind of like, okay, it's time where those sprouts of maybe mean energy, tensions have maybe builded. You know, you've been busy with Christmas and everyone's tired, or everyone's in a great great energy. Whatever it is all fluctuations. The energy of, like I said, where it could be mean, or, you know, the energy of the first week coming up. If anyone falls into that around the 30th to the 1st, it's really nice energy, and it's going to be like, okay, we're going to just kiss and make up and whatever. I just love you. Whatever's happened has happened. It's like a calmness. And when I talk about these energies, by the way, I also mean it on a global level and governments. So the calmness of the energy on the 30th till the 1st of January is going to be felt not only for us but also globally, where tensions might have sprouted during that 3rd week that we mentioned. Now, I do healing oils that I do during certain times for the energy healing, and I would recommend what you feel is calming and cooling to you. But if you're interested, I can always just let me know in the comments, and I can drop you a note in terms of that. But I really would like for you to look at what makes you feel good for those days, because we've got different, depends on the weeks that we're looking at there. It's a time to be friends with your right brain, okay, which is the analytical side, not the left brain where it's over emotional, and we're already going to kind of be tapped into that. There's a lot of opportunity on relationships, and there's a lot of questions around, is it real, just in general, not only about relationships, but, you know, going back to the 1st week. There's new energies coming in. Some may feel sad and feel it a bit like sandpaper, okay? Let's just go with the feeling as opposed to emotions. So some of us might feel it a bit of sandpaper at certain times, whereas others of us might just feel it as a slippy slope, you know, just going with it. So it really does depend. In terms of those of you that like to listen to frequency, I'd go for 432 or 852, and that is going to be a good frequency during this time for you. Now I'm going to pull some tarot. I do want to say that I do think there's going to be some heightened solar flares, and I do think they will be getting much larger in 2024 as well. We can look into that, but it'll be interesting to see if we have any that come in around. I'm getting more towards the end of December, but I do think there's going to be more heightened solar flares. Now I am getting a spirit animal, and but I'm going to pull a spirit animal as well. The spirit animal I'm actually getting is the duck, and it's funny because the duck is not one that we tend to think of much, is it really? But I think it's coming through, because if you watch ducks, they're not funny, but we can watch them and they're like, oh, you know, there's something very, very light humor. It's something that they make you smile, but not like, oh my God, or like a massive smile, but it's just like a very simple smile, like if you're watching them. And it's what it is about them is that there's awareness about them. There's still very much the presence, but their energy is not heavy. It's not like they're fully focused and panicked or anything. No, there's the presence and awareness are there. They know they're present, and they're present in their body and in the moment. And I think that's what we really need for this month. So they're not, I don't want to say that they're funny, but they will crack us, you know, they will break that little smile on your face. And they're accepting of the moment as well. And I think that's why that duck energy is coming through. So that's one spirit animal, but let's pull for another spirit animal and see what we get. You have to let me know if you enjoy these energy updates. Okay, I've just had a few cards fall out, so I'm going to have to put them back in. while I'm doing this, if any of you watch the video, pause and guess in the comments what you think the second spirit animal that might come up. And let's see if you get it close. I mean, even if it's the family. Are you ready? Dolphin, play, enjoy. That's really lovely, isn't it? Because we were getting around, was it the second week I felt that the energies was the abundant and the play? Yeah, it was like enjoy, playful, abundance feeling. But then there is that question, is it real? And it could be around why I'm feeling so good, but the 8th till the 13th. So the dolphin is really about joy. It's really about being your creative self, having the confidence, exhaling fear, taking time to do the things you enjoy, diving into your wisdom, going with the flow, swimming with happy joy of living. So I think there are actually good parallels, because with the right brain, we do want to be present and aware as well, but we don't want that seriousness, which is the dark. And the dolphin's also informing us about that second week. And it's also telling us this is a festive time. So if you celebrate Christmas or you don't celebrate Christmas, let's just have this joyful, playful energy of holidays and going into this new year. Because I don't know about you, but I found 2023 quite hard and really weird in a sense. Definitely not what I've expected. And so I think we just owe ourselves to that, or owe ourselves that joy. And also don't forget the frequency that I told you about is going to be very healing and supportive. So that's the spirit animal. I'm thinking to actually pull, I've told you about the crystals, so I'm not going to pull a crystal because that would be too much. But I am going to actually pull a tarot and see what we get just in general. I am going to do predictions, world predictions. So those of you that are interested in that, then you need to let me know as well and look out for that. I think it was in the Savile video, I asked if you'd be interested in channeling and something around the video of euthanasia. So, you know, sort of putting your life to an end because you just can't handle it. But it's not the term of committing suicide, basically. And I'm just wondering, because if the pharma industry is going to come into that, there's going to be different parts, karmic contracts, even for our, you know, for our pets as well. So okay, so let's get a card for this week. Do check out your 7 to 10 days that is coming up. I'm doing the signs that have supported the readings or the most views. And then there will also be a separate one that has what you need to know, all signs time stamped. But if you're not supporting your readings, you're probably going to get bi-weekly readings and no bonus readings. So do support your readings. Now, I've not asked for the question, but I do love this card that I've just, okay. The first week is the 7 of Cups. And I wouldn't be surprised. Remember I was saying, is this real? Look at this. Like a bit of rose tinted glasses. Again, is it real? Are they really, you know, are they really doing that? Am I really doing that to try and, you know, different stuff in your face, to try and manipulate what they can't seem to express and say? That energy of the first week being a bit not, you need to stay in the heart-centered centered place. Second week, please, Spirit. Nine of Cups. Can you remember? I think it was the second week. I keep saying I think, and it, yeah, the second week was that joy, the abundance, feel good energy. And this is definitely the gifting from the universe, but us feeling really, really good, you know, just in our hearts. And, you know, it's a joyfulness. So it's there as well. Third week, please, Spirit. And that's going in from the new moon of Sag as well. Third week, please, Spirit. It's interesting, we've got the Five of Wands that just seem to be showing like that. So internal, external conflict maybe in the third week. And I think I did say there's a couple of days where we feel a bit icky. Was it on the 22nd? And so the third week, the Judgment, because I put the Five of Wands, just spoke about it, Judgment. And yeah, this is about spiritual awakening. This is the being awakened to, is it real? Is it, Judgment is also, you remember I said for the third week, we're able to communicate, not be overly emotional, although express our emotions. And there's that third week. And the third week, the solar plexus chakra that I mentioned, but I said, let's tap into it from a spiritual energy. And that's the energy of the Judgment. This is also major arcana. So the time frame of this is from the universe. And remember, the 22nd to the 24th is the good communication days. We can definitely see that as the 21st and 22nd, that might be a bit icky. So just really going from, is this sort of real, and how people are acting, you're having a bit of a awareness. And remember I mentioned around the 7th and 8th, you might see that you're in a good energy and you want to ask for things, and it's coming in around the third week. There we go. And the trumpet is horning those answers to you or bringing them into you. Fourth week, please, Spirit. Before I even ask, Ace of Wands is the passionate driving forward, but I didn't finish the question, and I always like to finish the question. The third week of, you know, the Hierophant wanted to pop out before I started, but I hadn't finished, and the Two of Cups. So yeah, remember I said about really looking at our relationships and asking, where are we going, what we're doing, looking at our relationships, and also spiritually present is really, really needed. The full moon is coming in at this time, and we see it in the card there. It's quite revved up with that Ace of Wands that was coming through as well. Getting told to look at the bottom of the deck, the Two of Pentacles. And then, you know, there's also that sort of, the Hierophant is again like a spiritual teacher, but this is really where we're reviewing things, maybe reviewing of the past, reviewing of the relationships. It's really about that, isn't it? That's what's coming through for us. And then don't forget I said about the 3rd, the 30th and the 1st being, and there you might be juggling the past with the present, you know, and the 30th to the 1st really being a nice energy. So that's the tarot that we get. I think I'm going to keep this short and sweet for us. So if you enjoyed this December's energies, please do let me know, and we'll continue them on in Jan. Don't forget to flag it and come back to it. And just know we've got some beautiful days, and those days that are icky, you can just say, what the hell, is this real? But then we're heart-centered, or we're tapping into our solar plexus and enjoying the festive period. If you don't have people to enjoy with the festive period, I definitely know how it feels. For some of us might be feeling that way. You know, I don't want to say it's overrated, because it can be overrated. It depends what we expect. And half the time our expectations are just way out until we probably get a bit older and we're like, you know what? If I get a box of chocolates or if I get remembered, that's fine for now. But, you know, so a lot of us are going to be with family. A lot of us might be alone. A lot of us might be in different countries. A lot of us don't celebrate, but might be feeling people that do celebrate around us. And so then maybe we're missing loved ones or connections that we've recently been with, or stuff like that. and everyone's going to be in their own energy, but you're definitely not going to be that sole person in that energy. There's other people that are going to be in that energy, and just focus on this reading, focus on what advice I've given you, and you're going to be in the right energy, and your acceptance and your awareness, and there's a peaceful energy around that as well. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this, and I don't know if I've recently, when was the last time I actually showed my face on camera in the readings? I think the the tarot have been on the tarot deck, but the last couple of channelings might have been, I think Natalie Wood, so not too long ago. But anyway, I hope you all stay blessed, and I'll definitely be putting up more videos, but just because it's around the theme. Those of you celebrating, Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a lovely one. Whatever you're doing, even if you're cooking yourself your own stuffed turkey, or if you're going to people's houses, whatever you're doing, whatever it is, enjoy your festive period. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you just have a beautiful December. And if you've got any occasion, even a birthday, I hope you feel blessed. And may we all stay protected during this time. And may we all wish for peace within ourselves and for others, and the earth all around us, and especially in the countries where there's war zones going on with larger agendas around it. So take care, stay blessed, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye for now.